Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be taking a look at something. I've had them for just a little bit, but I ordered them from SMS. These are the SMS dual edge nippers, the precision nippers. This is my first pair of like professional level nippers, and honestly, they have changed my life as far as building goes. I don't know how I've built kits up to this point without these. Um, so this is going to be a review of these, and what I'm planning on doing is kind of doing a side-to-side comparison with these. These are my, they're like a standard dual edge nipper and, or cutter, however you want to say it. And, you know, I've gotten by with these really well, and they're pretty good, but fail in comparison to these right here. These things are amazing. I've never owned like God hands or anything like that, but I can only assume that these are like a direct comparison with those. They do such a good job, and you know I could say it all day long, but I'm actually going to show you. I have the perfect kit just laying around to actually demonstrate this. I'm going to end up making more work for myself in the long run, but I have a high grade Jester right here. It is literally in the two colors that make the worst nub marks, which is gray and dark blue. So I'm just gonna pick random parts out of this, probably one gray, one dark blue. Of course, I'm going to use these to actually cut the runner, the piece away, you know, with the runner still on it to do the double cut method. And then on one side of the piece, I'll use these to cut. And then on the other side, I'll use these to cut. And you will see the difference between the two. So without further ado, let me grab two pieces and we'll get started. Okay, so I got the two pieces, one gray, one dark blue. But before I go any further, I forgot to kind of mention the packaging here. So whenever you get these nippers, or cutters, however you want to say them, they will look like this, and it says high precision cutting nipper for use with plastic model kits. And, you know, I see a lot of forums and stuff, and they talk about, you know, these breaking and stuff like that, or these style like professional nippers breaking and stuff. And honestly, I think a lot of that might have to do with user error because these are precision. They're used to do the last cut, the finessing, the final cut. You know, I wouldn't use these to cut big old sections of runners off. I would use, you know, the cheaper nipper to, you know, do that part, which is what I did with this. I used the other nipper to, you know, cut the sprue itself and get the piece off of the sprue, and then you go in with these and you make those final cuts, and you have a lot less cleanup at the end. You'll see in a minute, but here's the packaging. You know, back is nothing on it, front looks like this. Of course, you just slide this up and it comes out. I've been keeping it in here just to keep it safe, but let's take a look at this. I've used them a couple times, of course. I've actually built a couple kits with them, and like I said, they're amazing. They shave time off of cleanup a million times, but they are super sharp, super sharp. Of course, they got the little tampographed SMS scale model supply there. They are very well fitted to my hand, of course, or you know, at least, but they are very easy to use. The thin nature of the handle, they're easy to hold, they're easy to maneuver, they're easy to get into areas. They're nice and oiled up, which is nice. You know, they are very smooth to squeeze. That spring gives you just a little bit of, you know, back pressure, which is really nice. Like any other tool, if you want to take care of it, of course you're going to have to oil it eventually. But you know, they feel amazing in your hand. They're really thin at the top, able to get into those areas really well. And, you know, that's about it for the looks and aesthetics of it and everything. And let me grab these other ones real quick and we can do like a little bit of a comparison. As you can see, these are like kind of big and beefy. You know, they have the little like tensioner thing there. This one has a spring in the middle. Like I said, you don't want to do a lot of force stuff with this. This is the precision tool to fine cut a part. This one is the one I'm now using. This was my precision one, and uh, I had a lot of cleanup to do afterwards, but this one, is the one now I use because it's nice and it's still pretty sharp. So I'm using it to do the power cuts, where this is the fine cut. Um, so now let's get down to actually cutting the part. Okay, so now we're gonna start with the gray piece. This kit actually does a pretty decent job of this piece was, I had to search for a piece that didn't have like almost undergated stuff, but nevertheless, as you can see, you follow the groove. I'm doing the standard two cut method with this just to demonstrate. But you get in there, this is the older nipper, this is the cheaper of the two, and there you go, you have a nub mark. And as you can see, it's a pretty substantial one. I mean, if you're painting the kit, it's not too bad. I mean, it's still flush, it just leaves a lot of stress there. And, it takes a lot of sanding and cleaning up to really get that looking good. So on this side, I'm going to use the precision cutters. And just off the bat, these here do more of like a snap. I mean, they do cut, but there's more of a snap to it, which, on harder plastic, like the double O kits and stuff like that, this thing really did just like snap through and sent the pieces flying and stuff, and that leaves a really ugly mark that takes a lot to clean up. Where these are so sharp and so smooth to cut with, I mean, it just glides through, and as you can see, I'm going to do it with this side. No pressure, and it just, boom, snips right off, and I mean, it's dark. I mean, look at that. And I mean, these are on pieces that's going to show regardless, but I mean, you can see the difference. That, and this is just one single, snip to that. And that was a fast snip. I mean, you can kind of go slower with it, like I'll do it on this one here, and it might do even better for you, where, you can kind of pressure it. And, like I said, the outline's there, but the center is dark. And if you take your thumbnail, kind of darkens it up some more. And like I said, it's not clean free. You still have to clean it, but I mean, still, like I said, that compared to that or that, I mean, it makes a world's difference. Even if I scrape this one down, I mean, it's still super ugly compared to the precision. So now let's move on to the dark blue. Now the dark blue is probably going to show just about as bad. Just to help myself with cleanup later, I'm probably going to do down here and then up here with the precision, so that I have less cleanup later. But I'm going to get in here like this. And you see what I mean by that snap? It snaps it. Now, don't get me wrong. These are cheap, and, you get what you pay for sometimes, and they're okay. But, these here leave a really nasty nub. I can probably even go back with this one and clean it up. Look at that. And, this one here up top, I'll just do straight from here. No pressure at all, just glides through. So good. Probably get a little bit more. And this one over here. And I mean, and this is on a part that, like, legitimately are the worst for nubs. I mean, this color is just simply pretty much horrible for that. But as you can see, I mean, you got that little bitty nub there, but once again, nothing. Well, I hit that one again, didn't I? But you saw earlier, I mean, it was very, very prominent with these, where with these, it's just such a fine cut. This one was probably a better example, but, that being the normal cutters that I've been using, and then that which is so subtle, just a little bit of cleanup. I mean, just a couple swipes with a sanding stick and that would just be gone. This one would take a lot more. So that's just a quick demonstration of this compared to this. I think these were roughly between 60 and 70. I think they were like $60-$65, and worth every penny. I am so happy with these. I want more pairs of them, honestly. But like I said, it has saved the lifespan of my sanding equipment by at least half, because I'm not having to use nearly as much of my sanding equipment to clean up nubs and stuff like that. Now, like I said, these were just a couple examples. I've gotten cleaner cuts, off camera with other pieces and parts and like other. I purposely picked these colors because these colors are so prominent to bad nub marks that I wanted to use those for an example. But other colors and stuff, like lighter colors and stuff like that, I mean, you can't even hardly see a nub mark left. And of course it's harder to do on camera, of course. But I'm going to put a link in the description below on where you can get these, and I highly suggest going and picking a pair up. You will see for yourself that, I mean, it's a game changer if you're really into Gunpla hardcore and want to get something that's going to really help you out in building your kits. So with that, that's going to be the end of this video. I just wanted to do a quick review and kind of showcase these nippers. So a like and subscribe would be appreciated if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.